Hello, this is Rail-Ryder. It's January, you know what that means? Lionel released a catalog! This time it's the 2024 Volume 1 catalog! So let's dive in and see their awesome, amazing new products! It is time for motherfucking Vision Line. This year, Lionel's doing the Erie triplexes. And it used to be an MTH tooling, because MTH sold many of their toolings to Lionel. Now, when they sold their tooling to Lionel, they didn't tell us what tooling has been sold to Lionel. So we don't know what company is going to make which train until the train gets announced. When MTH sold their tooling to Atlas, they told us. So what are the features on this engine? Whistle steam, swinging bell, wheel slip. It's not the first Vision Line locomotive with whistle steam and swinging bell to be based on an insanely slow steam locomotive. MTH made triplexes all the time, but now they've gotten tired of it and sold the tooling to Lionel. Now, MTH has been releasing many trains with whistle steam, or steaming whistle, as what they called it, and it would have been better if MTH would have released a triplex with whistle steam before selling the tooling to Lionel, because MTH does a better job at, hiding the hole. So then Lionel probably would have done it the same way MTH done it, and Lionel would have done a good job hiding the hole. Its wheel slip feature is actually proof that it doesn't have the same problem as the MTH versions. Because the MTH version had one motor for that staggering total of 3 driving bogies. You're gonna have trouble connecting the engine to the tender. And the only way that wheel slip feature can possibly work is that if the bogie had its own motor. So yeah, the Lionel version, it's gonna be easier to connect the engine to the tender. Yet it's still pretty difficult to connect the engine to the tender. At least you don't have to correctly align a screw. The Virginian Railroad had a triplex too, but Lionel got in so much wrong, like the location of the headlight, the number of wheels on the tender, and the number. But even if Lionel did get that right, I would still get an Erie version for that blue paint scheme. And then my second choice would be the Halloween version, but it's very unlikely for me to make a second choice. No! So, yeah, no way I'm gonna get the Virginian triplex. No! Oh my god! That is the largest premium model train set I have ever seen! There is so many freight cars, there's a staggering total of 14! And I'm not counting the engine, tender, and caboose! Seriously, it's big for the price, but the problem is that it's got a big price. And where am I gonna store it when I'm not using it? Seriously. Only a Krypton will have to lift up the whole thing. This set is huge. Well, you've waited since 2017 for these awesome Berkshires, and now Lionel's finally making them. Too bad they're not making 759 like last time. No! So no golden spike blue paint scheme. Well, that sucks. No! And I disagree with Jim Van Der Kolk when he doesn't like these Mars lights. I think they're cool. They're like adding an extra feature to this engine. Wait a minute! Where's the Polar Express? I mean, seriously, that engine's on the cover! It's the 20th anniversary! Where is it? Hello? What? Oh. It's just on a different page. Okay. Bye. Well, it's on a different page. Okay.
Okay, if you're gonna do a C&O Kanawa, can you at least do 2716? You know, the one that's currently being restored into operating condition.
Here's an engine that's easy for me to say no to. Seriously, all the other engines have every feature this has. I could buy 2 cheaper legacy engines with the price. Never really looked forward to this engine that much. Why should I buy it? Here are the legacy engines that will go perfect if you have a lack of money or lack of space. This year Lionel's doing 460s. Yeah, I do have a similar engine to them, but I'm surprised that they moved the headlight on some of them. The Milwaukee Road Class A Hiawatha's. I saw this engine as an improvement of the pre-war version. And Lionel hasn't made this since 2006. They didn't have legacy back then. Too bad their observation cars don't have the fins this time. I mean, seriously, these observation cars look better. And no Station Sounds Diner. Instead, we've got a Station Sounds observation car. And of course, Lionel's not gonna do a what-if paint scheme. I mean, they're such colorful engines. Why would Lionel need to do a what-if paint scheme? Hello? Wait, you mean they are doing a what-if paint scheme? Oh, I've prepared for this. So, bring it on! Chicago and Northwestern? Well, it looks okay, I guess. Seaboard? Well, they did a better job than that time MTH tried to make one. Out of a Milwaukee Road streamlined tooling. And... take a look at the minimum curve radius. 054? It only has a 442 wheel arrangement, and it requires that big of a curve? Seriously, I'm gonna attempt to run it on my 045 curves if I ever get this. Well, that's it for steam locomotives. Now, before we get to diesels, there is one expectation that I had that didn't quite make it. Basically, I expected Lionel to make the K4s because their last 3 catalogs had Pennsylvania steam engines. 2022 Volume 2 had the Mikados, 2023 Volume 1 had the Decapods, and 2023 Volume 2 had the M1s. So I was thinking K4s were the next in the line. Or maybe the Atlantics or the T1s. But anyway, if Lionel makes the K4s, please do not forget the post-war versions. Or else I won't buy it. Unless if there's a streamliner. The post-war K4s look a lot more unique to me. Plus, they are extremely rare on eBay due to the fact that other companies prefer to make the pre-war K4s. In fact, Lionel last time decided not to make a post-war K4. I mean, why? Don't you find them to have a unique look with that headlight mounted behind the dynamo streamlined styled pilot and stuff? Seriously, post-war is better than pre-war. Post-war, thank God the war is over. Pre-war? Oh my God, we've got a huge war coming. I am so worried. Time for the diesels, starting with the GP9s. Available as both an A unit and a B unit. But for the real railroads, the only ones to use an A unit and the B unit is UP, Pennsylvania, and Conrail. And now in Lionel, they're going to be available in UP, Pennsylvania, and Conrail. I think it's been a long time since Lionel made engines like this. The ES44s. This time Lionel has put a bigger effort and gave some of them roof-mounted headlights or nose-mounted headlights. Lionel's also making heritage units of them too, including the Norfolk and Southern. Now again, Lionel decided to release 5 NS heritage units per catalog until all the NS heritage units get announced. And it's not just Norfolk and Southern, we also have CSX. Man, Lionel should have waited until CSX finished painting these heritage units. I wonder when CSX is gonna finish painting them. Hello. Of course they're not finished painting them. Look at them. Wait. You meant to tell me that they are finished painting these heritage units? So they're stuck looking like this? Ah! The SD45s. Man, the real one was such a failed piece of crap. I'm surprised this many railroads bought them. And you know, this catalog's been getting a lot of super bass engines. I'm surprised. They're also available as Delaware and Hunted, and I was wondering if that was a reference to I Love Toy Trains number 5, when these diesels were crashing into a shed. Extended dual control cab? What does that mean? When will Lionel explain what that means? The E6 units. These are gonna be the vintage, streamlined passenger diesels of the catalog. And again, Lionel is not releasing Santa Fe! You know, last time you released the Santa Fe, it has been the most successful train in your collection before the Polar Express. Don't you think it makes sense to make it again? It's hard to find a legacy passenger Santa Fe diesel on eBay. I do find it exciting that we're getting a transparent version, at least. And based on a real train, too. And again, Lionel's releasing switchers like this. And this time, single-motored. I like double motor better, but they're probably doing this because of the space inside the cab. So I guess the motor's gonna be right there. At least we're getting Chicago and Northwestern, that's nice. The U-28Cs, or U-boats, or whatever you want to call them. Anyway, I'm surprised about the minimum curve radius. These engines are pretty big for their minimum curve radius. It's amazing that they can run on curves that sharp. I'll probably get Union Pacific version because of the blinking light. And we're getting close to 15 minutes. So that's it for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. This is the second time in a row I couldn't finish all the scale stuff in part 1.